This is Black Box Radio Live, Doof, the Dressed Up Dope Fiend Show. I'm going to take you on a journey, a 32-year journey of my life on these streets of Baltimore, in and out of jail, getting high, mental issues, trauma, and grief. This is healing for me. We're going to get this started. I want you to push that like button, that subscribe button, and that share button. And I want you to share it with other people. And I'm on every third Tuesday of the month at 9 p.m. sharp. First, we're going to pause for all my friends that I lost out there and for all my friends that was locked up. Now we're going to get it on and popping. I'm going to give you a background of tonight's show. First, I'm going to start in Ohio. Then I'm going to end up in Philadelphia. So let's start in Ohio, in Dayton, Ohio. I was up there. This is at the end of my run. I'm getting high with my father every day. Man, my baby mother, who I'm living with, she's getting sick and tired of it. I mean, sick and tired of it, to the point where it was blatant that she was two-timing on me. And then the last one, I'm up there watching the kids. And then she pulls up in the back. She's in the truck. You can hear the music pumping. But the music that was playing, I don't know if y'all know what sexual rap is. It was nothing but nasty rap music. And she was in there for a long time. I was like a little person curled up, sucking his thumb. I was hurting. I was hurting so bad that my son came down there because I was laying on the floor. He came and hugged me. And that was the end because she kicked me out. So now I'm sleeping in my car. I'm so desperate for dope that I go to the dentist and I get my back teeth pulled so that I can get some perks, so that I can sell them, so I can get some dope. And so now I get in touch with my boy in Philly, and he said he's going to get me in a recovery house. And so I said, cool, but I couldn't leave until like a week later. So the money that I had to catch the bus and everything like that, man, that went because that went up my nose. I'm just steady getting high. So the last possession that I had was the car. Man, the money that I paid for it, I had to junk it. $300. Junk the car. Now I'm on my way to Philly. Meet up with my boy. He put me in a recovery house. So I'm in there. It's like a shock culture because they sit you on this goddamn crate and they yelling at you to tell your life story and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm not with it. I'm really not with it because they saying that you use them because of trauma, because of your past. And I'm trying to tell these motherfuckers like, yo, I sniff dope because I like dope. This is the best thing that has ever happened for me. So I don't know what they're talking about, but they yelling at me and stuff like that. But what I know now is that, hey, man, I was sniffing for trauma, and I was sniffing because I was trying to numb certain things that happened to me in the past. Now I know these things. But, man, I'm in the house and stuff, and I meet up with some people from Baltimore that was in the house. and I met up with some Philly cats, and I finally get off a blackout. So once again, I had a choice. Go to the meetings or go explore Philly with my newfound friends and with my newfound homies. And for y'all that don't know, blackout, when you're in the recovery house, that means you got to do 30 days on, 30 days. Far as like where you can't come outside and stuff like that. You got to make these meetings and everything. So I already done that time. Now I'm going to catch you back up to what I'm talking about. So now I'm exploring Philly. And I find where the dope is at because I'm going around. And so I found some dope down off of Lehigh where the Puerto Ricans be at. And so I copped some dope from a lot of people down there. They sell morphine. So I get the morphine. I meet two strangers, this girl and guy. And so they say, come on, let's go down by the railroad tracks and we're going to get high. And so me, I don't know these motherfuckers. I don't even know where I'm going. You know, I have never explored Philly, but I'm walking with these motherfuckers down there. And so now I'm down on the railroad tracks. We dumping the dope and stuff. And so I had like 3 bags of dope. And so I dumped one. And so the next thing you know, I'm wondering why I see the same Puerto Ricans that I just brought from. And so they're coming down there to come and get me because they're like, come here. I'm like, what you want? I'm like, what you want? Why you calling me? And stuff. They said, just come here. They said, just come here, Pop. Come here. And so I come. They say, do you know you was about to get robbed and killed? He said, hey, look, you come up here. You seem like a cool guy. You come up here. You come get high up here. Where we at? And so that was my introduction to Philly. So I'm getting high. I go back. I'm still in the recovery house. I'm not getting high every day. So I'm in there. So once again, I had a choice because I met another brother who's doing the right thing. I mean, man, he's working the steps. He's doing everything right. Then I meet this dude from Camden, New Jersey. I'm not going to name his name, but he's my Puerto Rican homeboy, man. I meet him and he come in there. He need an escort to escort him over to Camden because he got to see his PO. But while he's over in Camden, he's selling drugs and stuff like that. And he want me to escort him over there. But once again, I had a choice. One of my homeboys came up there robbing people down by the McDonald's, down by where the Dominicans be at. And they found them dead behind there. So once again, I had a choice. Focus on recovery. I'm getting all the warning signs like, man, don't hang out in the city, man. Just focus on your recovery. Not me, though. Nah. I want to go to Camden because he's telling me the dope over there is so good. I'm having dope dreams. I'm having, my mouth watering. Like somebody mouth water over a steak. You know what I mean? So I started taking him over there. But he ain't let me know what he was doing at first. First, I escorted him. Then, he turned me on to some dope. So we sniffing and stuff like that. Then he's introduced me as we coming back and forth to different people over there. I guess he was trying to get my face familiar so nobody won't be spazzing out or tripping out that I'm over there. And so I'm over there with him. And so the next thing you know, he hits me with, hey, how would you like to wash the corner? And I'm like, okay. I don't know. They the thoughts that's going through my mind. Okay, and I don't know. Because I'm not from here. I don't know these knockers, which is undercover police. I don't know the rules or routines that they have in their hood. Only thing I want is that dope. And so he said, you're going to give me $300 a day just to watch his back. And I get all the dope that I want. So I decided to go. And so now I'm going over there and I'm watching the corner. But I'm nodding most of the times. I'm called anything that ride past. anything that ride past us, I'm yelling time out. And so you like, and over there they real aggressive. So you're like, man, what the fuck are you doing, man? You just can't be doing that, man. You can't yell that shit on every motherfucking car. So I'm spazzing back. I like, man, I don't know who the fuck it is. Do you not want me to call it? And so this is like every fucking day. And then I'm over that bitch. Then I'm nodding. It's like when you high and you going through like, and you feeling the dope real strong. So I'm nodding on the porch as I'm watching out for where he's hitting at and stuff like that. I'm nodding. So we constantly getting into it. I should have known. I'm not going to get into the specifics of what was going over there, but it was a lot of incidents that should have turned me around. And especially like the time when I walked through that tunnel. It's a tunnel connecting downtown Camden, and you walk this tunnel up under the highway, this like expressway, whatever it is, and it leads you into the projects. And then from the projects, it's these houses, but it's like a little world of its own. It's nothing but Hispanics there. And so all this violence that's going on, everything that's going on around me and stuff, and I'm still there. But what's crazy about it is at the house, I still have brothers that are trying to get me to do the steps, that are trying to get me to do right, that are trying to get me to go in a different direction. But nah, not me. I'm still over Camden. And then he gets locked up. Do you think I stopped going over there? Once again, another sign. Nah, I don't stop going over there. Nah, not me. I'm still heading over there. I'm running. I'm talking about running over there by myself now. Don't know these from Adam, from Eve, hanging with them. At any time, they could have took me off. They don't know me. And I'm over there buying dope. But one side note, because this come to my head, it was this motherfucking old Puerto Rican lady that sold cinnamon ices. And I hate cinnamon ices with my heart. That shit is nasty. I don't care what part of the day I came over. I don't care if I came in the morning, afternoon. It was like she was waiting for me to give me a free cinnamon icy. I just had to say that because I'm just thinking about that shit off the top of my head. But anyway, to get back to it, I'm like over there, I'm eating over their houses and shit like that. I mean, and I didn't even notice that my life is going down in a spiral. Because now I'm not sniffing once a week like I was at first. Now I'm starting to sniff every day. Now I got that monkey on my back. Now I got to make moves on my own. Now I'm in a bind. So I'm like, Troy, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle this now? So me, on 25th and Lehigh, they had this clinic there. So I go in there with my usual story, mental health issues and my back issues and stuff like that. So I'm getting perks and I'm getting Xanaxes. Now I'm selling pills. So I'm down on Broad and 25th with these pills. Don't know nobody down there. But I'm about to sell me some motherfucking pills. Once again, God intervened. As soon as I was walking behind where that social service building is at to sell these motherfucking pills, an arm came out of nowhere and put it around my shoulder and whisked me like in a turnaround. It turned me out. He said, nah, you don't want to do that, fam. No, fam, trust me, you don't want to do that. And so I'm walking out. So now I'm selling, coming all the way down to Baltimore. Remind you, not one time am I focusing on recovery. Not one time am I focusing on my well-being. So now I'm coming all the way down to Baltimore to sell these perks. But when I get to Baltimore, it's not the same morphine that I'm using up in Philly. Now Baltimore came out with fentanyl. You know, we had fentanyl down in Baltimore before, like the horse tranquilizer and shit like that, but it wasn't real popular. But now people, like when you think you getting raw dope, now they cutting the raw with fentanyl and also with Xanaxes. So I'm down here. I done sold my pills. I got like 1,000 something in my pocket. I'm up, sleep on Cold Spring at the subway station on a bench. And anybody that know Park Heights, that's Northwest Baltimore. That's a neighborhood, like a community. Know that you will get taken off. It's not like I was looking like I was homeless or anything, disheveled. I was fresh as a motherfucker. I should have got taken off. And so my boy, which I didn't know at the time, he came, scoop me up. I didn't even know it. So I wake up in a strange house, high, still high. Never been high like that before, because it was a different kind of high. That fentanyl will give you a different kind of high. I was out, then I was in and out. I couldn't keep my eyes open. So I woke up and I was like, damn, this not good. I said, fuck it, man. Ain't nothing you can do now. And I nodded back out. So when I came to in the morning, I was so fucking relieved to see it was my homeboy that I grew up with. And he was telling me he was riding past. And he saw me all bent over on the bench. And he took my money because I didn't have my money in my pocket. So he took my money. And he came back down with all that motherfucking money. And what's so fucked up is, instead of breaking them off some bread, I treated them to McDonald's that day because I had a dope habit. I don't always get perks. That motherfucking money from the perks and Xannies had to last me. It had to last me. And I feel bad about that to this day, because he could have clipped me. He could have left me out there, because I have some people that I call friends that would have done that and would have said they found me like that with no money in my pocket. So now I'm coming back up Philly in the recovery house. Now, remind you, I don't want to go on blackout because I don't want to go through the withdrawals. So all of a sudden they do a surprise urine test. So once again, the light bulb go in my head, because I'm not going on blackout, and I'm not going to pee in that motherfucking cup. So I go like, I'm suicidal. I'm not peeing in that cup. So they sent me down to the hospital down Lehigh. It's off of Lehigh, the hospital down there. So I was in the mental ward. And so I told them about my dope problem in there. And so they helped me in there. So I get out. I come back to the house. And so by them giving me medicine to get me through the withdrawals good enough, I was able to come back to the house. So when I pissed, I was clean. And this when it gets strange, even stranger, because once again, I had a choice. Once again, I meet another person and I start going to church. And I get taken out the recovery house that I was at, and they moved me to another recovery house that was more structured. And so down there, you wasn't really doing nothing. So I'm mad because they pissing you all the time and everything. So I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I didn't have the freedom that I had. And so I'm down there at that recovery house and stuff, going to church and going in the right direction. And once again, they come at me with the steps. Once again, even telling me to read the 13-step book, and I'm like, bad joke. All I want to do is do me. And all I want to do is what I think that I know best. And all my life, that never measured up to nothing. So then I met this female at the library down, I think it's down there by Temple. So I met this female. So in my mind, that's my way out. So I start finessing and using my tongue and using my game. But what I learned about the Philly girls is, hey, yeah, I might dig you, but your ass going to get a job and you're going to contribute to this motherfucking house. You know what I mean? So that's later on. But so I moved with her. Now I got my motherfucking freedom. But she live in one of the motherfucking worst neighborhoods up in North Philly. She had to introduce me to everybody so that I wouldn't, have no problems up there. Now, once again, now I'm going down to the Badlands to get my dope. And still going over to Camden once in a while to get my dope. And so I'm thinking she a good woman and stuff, you know what I mean? But later on to come to find out, she was slipping out, smoking coke herself. But what was crazy was my breakfast was ready. Lunch was ready. You know what I mean? Dinner was ready. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. She still kept a good house though. Then to come to find out that she had a man that was locked up. And my homeboy from Philly, he was telling me, say, yo, don't fuck with nobody. They got a man that's locked up. They real sensitive over that shit up here. They still be thinking that's that woman. You can get killed like that. And so I'm trying to find a way out. But I'm out the recovery house, so I ain't got nowhere to go. I can't come back to Baltimore. I can't come back to my mom's. You know what I mean? I can't maintain no motherfucking apartment. And I'm too arrogant and conceited to go into a motherfucking shelter. But that's what's crazy about. I won't go into a shelter, but I sleep in a motherfucking car though. That's crazy. And so I'm up there with her. We rocking out and we rolling and shit. So then she lined me up for a job. And that was the second thing, because I'm trying to find my way out. So now I'm trying to finesse my baby mom back up in Ohio, trying to move back up there. That's another story. And only thing I know is that I don't want this job at Temple Hospital that she's trying to get for me. And I don't want to be there because she got that man upstairs. Locked up. And so the next thing you know, I'm like, yo, talking to my baby mom. And I'm in the house and she just happened to come in. And she was like, that's disrespectful. If you want to talk to her, take that out on the porch, but don't do that in my house and stuff like that. And so I go like, whatever. And I keep talking. And so I go upstairs. And so the next thing you know, right, she come up behind me. And when she come up behind me, she locks the motherfucking door, like taking the key. And like, the skeleton motherfucking keys. I haven't seen one of them, like something like on horror pictures or old houses and shit. That shit look crazy to me. But she had this little skeleton key, steel little key, and she plugging it in into that little, that little hole shit. About to lock it. I said, only thing you want to do is call the police. And she said, no, I'm locking this door so that you can't get out and run. Next thing you know, she hit me with a piece in a biscuit. I ain't gonna say I've never been hit by a woman that hard because I've been abused by women before, but this was one of the hardest hits that a woman has ever hit me with. She hit me so motherfucking hard, my motherfucking scalp went back. You know what I mean? I said, what the fuck? The window was open. I jumped out that motherfucking window, landed on an island that's covering the porch, jumped down onto the porch, my motherfucking feet kicking my motherfucking ass. And I'm running, and it's the first time I heard the word up there. She said, pussy, you gotta come back. I left everything at that motherfucking house. I never came back to that bitch. That motherfucker was serious, you know what I mean? She was gonna put no pause on me, and I don't hit women, you know what I mean? So now I'm in the city, no aspects, no nothing. But once again, God good to me, because I could have humbled myself because I saw the director of the recovery house. He was like, yo, won't you come back here? He said, but you know you want to go back on blackout and stuff like that. Me, I want to do my own thing. Had my way out right there. But this is what I mean by how sometimes these choices are so crazy. Because at the same time I saw him, it just happened to be the same time that I was going to get my perks and Xanaxes again. So I had a choice to go to Baltimore or go back to the recovery house. And even when I went into the motherfucking clinic, even when I went in there, I'm sitting in there. Then all of a sudden, I guess one of the dudes from the house was getting a checkup or whatever, you know, but he wasn't in there for what I was in there for. He once again, always pushing NA on me, always pushing, go to meetings, do this. And he come out there, he said, look, I'm going to wait for you outside and we're going to go to a meeting. And so I'm waiting outside. Well, when I finish the doctor, he waiting outside. Then I come outside. So we go to the meeting. I'm not even going to get into far as the stories far as from the meetings because you don't divulge that. But there's some hard stories of Philly far as no motherfucking meetings. So I go there. And so he like, look, man, I'm going to give you $30. You go back into the recovery house because I know you talk. I ain't going to say the name, but you talk to them and they want you to come back. They want you to get your shit together. But once again, that choice, because to go to Baltimore only costs $28. I ain't know how I was going to get to Baltimore. I had no motherfucking money in my pockets. Went around Philly. Only thing I got is perks and Xanaxes, prescriptions. But now I got $30. Now I'm in the motherfucking Greyhound station, downtown Philly, getting my ticket. Can't wait to get back to Baltimore. Come back to Baltimore. Once again, divine intervention. If I got some dope down there before and passed the fuck out, as soon as I sold the motherfucking pills, I went and got some more dope. But this time, I'm on the subway platform at Cold Spring Station, waiting for the subway. But this time I passed out on the subway tracks. And when I wake up, I'm in Sinai Hospital. And I guess they gave me Narcan. But as soon as I come to, all I remember is I said, motherfucker, you owe me some motherfucking money. You owe me $20 because you fucked up my high. Not thinking about that the doctor holding my money, the drugs that are on me, he put in the trash can. Wasn't going to throw them away. Was going to give it back to me. But I'm in there beefing. MTA police out there wanting to question me. wanting to, I don't know, search me, whatever they might have done. I'm beefing with the motherfucker that's trying to help me. And in Baltimore, like when you go into like the mental wards and stuff like that, they will treat you, like give you things to help you with your withdrawals. So he was trying to see if he can push me in there, to see if I can get in there. But all that was on my mind was Dayton, Ohio, to start getting high again with my father. All I wanted to do was get high. I thought that was my motherfucking life. I could have died on the railroad tracks, on those subway tracks. I could have died or been robbed, killed. When my boy saved me from the situations that happened in Camden, it was a couple times getting caught up in situations because of the dude that I was with, because of his beefs become my beefs. I could have died. I could have died up in Philly on the railroad tracks. I could have died trying to settle perks and Xannies, which are Xanaxes, on Broad Street in Lehigh. So many times I could have died. And I still didn't get the message. And what's so crazy is when I paid for that ticket to go up Ohio to stay with my baby mother, do you think she got me up there on some warm and fuzzy shit? This was on some vindictive type shit. Because in her mind, I brought them up there from Baltimore, then get high up that bitch with my father. Don't keep none of the promises that I made. Sold the car. Not doing nothing that I'm supposed to do. Then leave and go to a recovery house and leave her up there with 2 kids in a strange city that she know nothing about. And I'm thinking that I'm walking into a peachy, rosy situation. And it was nothing like that. And she made sure that shit was hard for me. And she made sure she kept other niggas in my face. She made sure every day she called me a clown ass nigga, a dope fiend, this, that, in front of the kids, neighbors hearing it. So you know when somebody's calling you a dope fiend. And it's not like I was an old head or nothing like that. Because this was like 2008. Well, no, 2009. I'm still kind of young. Now imagine when you come outside in their projects not like ours, but to me they still projects. Everybody, because it spread like wildfire, that you're a dope fiend. And your baby mom look good as a motherfucker. Nobody got no respect for you. Nobody. And what's so crazy is she kicked me out. And you know where I wound it up at? In a motherfucking shelter. God has a funny sense of humor. Lost everything. Everything. And what's so crazy about it is because every time when I lose everything, I always get it back fast. But I put myself through all this shit. I didn't have to. Because I could have stayed in that recovery house, sat still for like 6 months to a year and start working. My boy that was down there would have made sure I got plugged in, made sure I had work. He would have made sure I got a room or made sure I got a studio in an I area. I mean, that's my ace. It would have made sure I was well taken care of. I had other people that I knew from down here that was willing to ride for me. Only thing they wanted me to do was just go to my meetings, sit still, take a break, take a time out. And I'm not just talking about Baltimore cats, Baltimore homeboys. Also, I'm talking about Philly people that I met, because I met some good Philly people up there. Some real good people up there. I mean that really embraced me up in North Philly. That's like my second home. It's crazy when you have these choices. That's what I be trying to emphasize on every show that I do. It's choices. And I'm still learning how to make proper choices, because I still self-sabotage. I still go through self-hurt. But like from the beginning of the story, when I was telling y'all, I should have knew that I was sick, that I needed to admit that I was helpless and that I was a dope fiend in the mirror. When I went to the dentist and got my back teeth pulled for some Percocets to sell, I should have known that I had a motherfucking problem when I sold that car for $300. I should have known that I had a motherfucking problem, because for the brief period that I was obeying what was in the recovery house, man, I gained my weight up. Man, I got back in touch with my kids briefly. I mean, I was taken for as a talent agent, was trying to scout me for commercials and things like that, but was patient, was going to let me do my recovery process first. But was real. I mean, I had things going on. I had a play script called One in Every Family. I ain't going to mention his name, but my boy that owned the barbershop was going to help me get it on. But I chose what was familiar, because I hated my motherfucking self that motherfucking much that I would rather kill myself instead of giving myself a chance to live. So the jewel of all this, I know some of us don't think God is real and stuff like that, but God is always talking to you. God was talking to me for the whole motherfucking time. I just chose not to listen. So where I'm at now in life, and the storm that I had to go through to mature me and to build me up to this place that I'm at, I wouldn't have had to go through such a severity of a storm to mature me this fast. I mean, I still would have had storms and situations, but it would have been like placed out, like spread it out. That's all I'm trying to say. Sometimes we make our own life so hard, but we're so y'all listen to me. Make sure y'all listen. Because sometimes when you make your life so motherfucking hard, what people don't realize is wherever you're supposed to be at, your script is already written. So wherever you're supposed to be at, whoever you're supposed to be with, whatever job you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be there. But before you get there, you're going to get matured so that you can handle that blessing. Make sure y'all listen to that. Make sure y'all watch out for little subtle signs, these choices. And I don't even know why I was so against getting better. And I thought that chaotic life that I was living was so sweet. I used to laugh at these motherfucking stories. These stories ain't funny to me no more. They traumatic, but this is healing for me. This is healing for me. And if anybody else out there relate or can relate making like choices like this, whether if you was on drugs or if you was a stick-up boy, or you was selling drugs or whatever, or if you just couldn't keep a job or because you were just lazy, whatever. I just hope you just get the point that, man, these choices are important. So if anybody have any questions for me, feel free to ask. Like I say, I'm not shy about anything far as that you ask me. I don't hold back from nothing. I don't hold back from anything. Do I have any questions?
Not at the moment, brother.
Okay. So since I don't have any questions, I'm just going to go into something else. I'm sorry. Just reliving what I just relived because I'm not really going into like the nitty gritty of it as far as like the toll or the effect that it took on me. So that's why like because it hurts. Because I have some friends that never woke up, and I have some friends that was out there twirling and was out there hustling that got murdered and got killed. And for all the fucked up things I done, for all the things that I got myself into, for some reason, God chose to spare me. And sometimes you can feel guilt from that. But at the same time, I feel joy. And now I feel like, man, I'm going to make this work. And I'm going to become the best version of me that I can be, that I can become. That's my goal in life right now. And that's why I do the kind of work that I do for us harm reduction. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it. Just giving back right now. To be a better father, to be a better son, to be a better mate, to be a better friend. And like I said, I still go through my struggles and stuff like that. But it's not like it was before. But I can still do much better. In the kind of work that I do, as far as like with harm reduction is the front lines. It's like you meeting a person where they at, they're still actively using. And I thank God for this job. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do forever, but I know I'm supposed to be here right now at this moment in this space. Because by witnessing what they're going through, even though it traumatizes me every day because it makes me relive things, but when you see what they're going through and how they sleep and how they living, and I mean, their struggle. Even now, when it was cold, you got people that's sleeping outside. You got people coming to the center, like when it was raining at night and it was like freezing, and they soaking wet, and all they want is to get some heat and a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee is worth more than that bag of dope at that time, because they freezing, about to go through hypothermia, you know what I mean? Because they soaking wet. You just see them shivering, you know? I'm not saying they were in hypothermia, but I'm saying, man, they could have got there if they had stayed in no elements like that. It keeps me clean. It keeps me learning to be focused and learning to be disciplined. And then you see other people that work there that had the same issues that you had, and you see the struggles that they're going through. But one thing I say about all of us, we're all going forward, and we're all making great strides. Where I was at in the beginning of 2023, I have accelerated and moved so fast in my life. I would never go back to that knowingly. Not saying that I'm better than anybody, but I got the fear of God in me of that. But like I say again, just giving back, trying to be an asset to the community instead of taking away from it. Trying to get that slave mentality out of me, as far as being slave to things instead of embracing each moment and choosing life and choosing prosperity in spirit, mind, body. That's where I'm at with it. I know sometimes it seems like I just go on and on and on and on and on, but you just don't know I have so much in me. So much in me. I have so much hurt, so much pain in me. And I thank y'all for the viewers that I'm getting. And like I say, man, thank y'all for allowing me to do this. And we just going to keep doing this. I see myself right now. Thank you, Miss Holly. I see myself right now where I got 1 foot here in familiarity for certain character flaws that I have, and I see 1 foot over here right now where I'm embracing this change, and it's difficult because change is scary and it's very uncomfortable for me. It's very uncomfortable to face things and go through things, far as dealing with things, far as your childhood and other things like that you choose to put a lid on. But the more and more you melt, far as your heart melt, and you feel again, you can't but help to feel these things. I'm committed to the process of sobriety, but I know I might get in trouble for saying this, but right now, I'm dealing with drinking to numb myself. So, but I'm moving in the right direction. And I know I might get some people that are in A and stuff like that, like say, how can you talk about recovery? You know, recovery, relapse is part of recovery. I might not be relapsing on heroin or relapsing on coke or relapsing on things like that, but I'm still relapsing into old ways of thinking and old ways of doing things, because it's so much easier to numb yourself. Like, I'm not going to get into a situation that just happened. I had a friend that passed away and I feel responsible. And then I watched another friend decay from cancer. And so that sticks in my head. So the hurt that I feel, oh, thank you, Miss Holly. God works through people and sends them into our lives for a purpose. I appreciate that. I agree with that 100%. But yeah, I'm committed to this process of sobriety because each day I'm walking closer and closer to total sobriety. And now I don't have to be as prideful where I don't want to listen to other people, or I don't think that I don't need a helping hand, because before I always thought that my way was the best way. But now that I know it's not. And so now I know that, just as before, like when I was telling the story, now I know that God sends people into your life for certain reasons. And it's up to me to look at the people that's lifting me up instead of people that is looking for me to fall. Because I don't feel that no one can tear you down for you make a choice to be included with someone that's tearing you down. That's your choice. Just as it's a choice to allow God to work through people to lift you up. So I thank you for that. But I know we had, I hope everyone enjoyed yourselves tonight, and I hope y'all enjoyed the show and stuff. And I know as a joke, I call myself Fiend Timay and stuff like that. I know, and I dressed up Fiend. It's the beginning of the end as I tell the story into when I'm coming into this person who I really am, Troy Alexander. I have 5 years off of heroin and coke. So I celebrate that. And some of y'all might say, well, you still drink. Fuck you. But I'm not living like I used to live. So yes, I do celebrate it. And I'm moving. I got, like I say, Miss Queen, she gave me a chance with this podcast. I know it's going to take time and effort and put work into it as it grows. That's a responsibility. I never finished nothing. I'm finishing things now. I got my family in my life. Like, once again, I got my certificates for, I got to take the test for peer recovery for the Maryland board. So I'm moving up. I'm moving up at my job into new positions. I'm being trusted with more responsibilities. I'm loved by my clients and stuff. I'm stronger. I learned the word no. And far as like what I want to say, man, you go through things, and that's the point that I'm making. You go through things, and guess what? You got to get up. You got to get up, and you got to just keep pushing. And that's what I'm doing. No matter what, keep pushing. I'm not the way I was a week ago. I'm not that same person today. The way I was just an hour ago, just by doing this show, my thoughts are changing. Just as that question was asked and the response was given. And guess what? I'm still changing. So all you got to do is push through that grave, push through that tomb, climb through that dirt. And like I say, you will hit the sunlight. Like I say again, I want y'all to push that subscribe, like, and share button. I want you to share it with your friends. I'm on every third Tuesday of the month at 9 p.m. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. And like I say again, I got to do this pause for my friends that are still locked up, and for my friends that lost their lives, and especially to my friends that lost their lives to this deadly disease of addiction. Pause. Until next time, deuces. I see you then. Okay, goodbye.